Nation, what's up, Claymates? It's your girl, Gwen Jameer. I'm here tonight to be in your face and let you know that you might be the problem. We're going to talk about it as soon as we get some more people into the room. But first, I just want to say hey to everybody. I hope you guys are doing wonderful and amazing. Good evening, good evening, good evening, my loves, my beautiful people. If you are new, say what's up. Say, hey, girl. Let me know where you are coming from. Rep your set. Let me know what city you are joining us from. If you are a OG, let them know that you've been down since day one, A1. Let them know as well where you are coming from. And if you are in Detroit, give me a special shout out and say what's up. I see LaDawn has joined. She is in the D with me. Hey, Claymates. Hello, Teresa and Anita. Hey, LaDawn. Hey, Danita. I don't know if I missed anybody else yet, but hello, everybody. I hope you guys are doing splendid and wonderful. I do want to get into your face tonight and let you know that you may be the problem and you might be the cause of your hair challenges. So I'm going to tell you why you might be the problem. And also, I'm just going to tell you why you might be the problem. I'm actually going to tell you how you can resolve this issue and stop making your hair feel like a chore, making it feel like something you have to do, something you hate to do, all of that. Okay? So, I'm going to get into this topic in just a moment. But first, I do want to let you guys know that we have started the Naturalicious Fit Squad. So I am not even the leader of this group. I am just rounding up the Claymate troops and helping them get them into this group because we all want to get fit. We want to feel great. And this was inspired because Jacqueline, who is a Claymate in our group, actually posted about how she was doing this 100-day workout challenge through Beachbody On Demand. How she was waking up every day feeling amazing and she was just eating right and everything was going great. And I was like, 100 days is really only, it sounds like a lot, but it's really only 3 months and 10 days. It's really not that long. So I'm like, this sounds pretty cool. I wonder if I could do it. And I asked you guys, hey, do you want to join me for a 100-day fitness challenge? And 153 of you said yes. But when it came time to actually do it, it was a whole lot less. So if you ain't about it, don't join the group because we're going to be in there getting fit every day for 3 months and 10 days. That is the challenge for us to get up every morning and do it. Now, if you are not able to do it in the morning, no problem. Do it on a schedule that works for you. Mornings work best for me. But the program is through Beachbody Online. You can get into the group. It is literally Naturalicious Fit Squad. You can just search for it or there's a link in the Naturalicious Nation and you can join that. All right. Again, I am not the leader of this group. Jacqueline is actually our coach in the group. It's totally free. I think you do have to sign up for Beachbody On Demand in order to get the actual workout, which is a different workout every day for 100 days. It's different, which is great for me because I get so bored so easily. So if you are somebody who has been trying to get fit and trying to do this on your own forever, because I know all of us have at some point and you just haven't been able to maintain the motivation, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring everybody together, to hold everybody accountable, and just make sure that we all are, staying on track. And so you do have to get that, which I think is like $34 or something like that. But disclaimer, I make not a dime off of this. This is literally through Beachbody On Demand. It's just that the program is on that platform, and we're all going to do the same program. Jacqueline is there to be our coach. She is doing this for free. I'm pretty sure she gets paid for this normally, but she's doing this for free for us. So this is perks of being a Claymate. Right? You get coaches and personal trainers right in the group who can help us. You get the camaraderie, the success, the sisterhood, the accountability that we're all probably missing. I know, God knows I am, because I'll stick with something for like 2 weeks and I'll be like, I'm over it. So I'm looking forward to starting. We are starting on Monday, the 14th. So if you want to be in the group, join the group. It's Naturalicious Fit Squad. Jacqueline can answer all of your questions. All right? Hello, 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 everybody. For those of you who are new, hello to you. My name is Gwen Jameer, and I'm so excited that you are here joining me today, girl. If you are an OG, my OGs, they always show up. They always are here every single Thursday. What's up, Adina? I see you, girl. And they are here just joining in everything that we talk about. So if you are new, let me introduce you to what we do here at Naturalicious Nation. And before I do that, I want you guys to share this live. Press the share button and share it out. We want everybody in here. And if you are even more interested, tag your friends. tag your friend, right? Sharing is caring. Tag your friends, get them in here into the group. Get them into this live. Thank you, Cassandra. I appreciate that. All right. So, Naturalicious Real Hair Revelations is a brand agnostic show that I do every single Thursday. I get on here and I give you information to make your hair better. It is not a sales platform to sell Naturalicious products. However, I am a brand owner. I do own Naturalicious, and I would love it if you bought Naturalicious products. However, if you don't buy Naturalicious a day in your life, girl, it is okay. This information is going to benefit you regardless. So a lot of stuff I talk about has nothing to do with the brand specifically and everything to do with caring for your hair, which is why I'm so excited to talk about this particular topic, because so many people think it's a product concern or that their hair type is a problem. And usually that is not the problem. The problem is usually something, especially if you've been using product after product after product after product and getting zero great results. The problem is probably you and what you are doing or not doing for your hair. And that's what I'm here to do every single Thursday, to educate you so that you can make better decisions when it comes to your hair, so you can eliminate the time, eliminate the frustration, and eliminate the chore that it feels like your hair is. Your hair can be amazing. It doesn't matter if you have 4C hair or if you think you have Kunta Kinte hair or whatever kind of joke you want to tell about your hair. It doesn't matter. I am here to tell you it does not matter if your hair is the coarsest of all coarse hair in the world. You just have to be consistent, and we're going to talk about that tonight. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so listen, I got this idea for this live. So I had a whole different live planned, but I wanted to do this live because I said we run ads for Naturalicious on Facebook, on the interwebs, whatever. And there was a comment, and this young lady said, I am so tired of people coming on to hair ads complaining that they want to see X type of hair. So just X, insert whatever hair type, right? They want to see X type of hair. It doesn't matter what your hair type is. They're always complaining about that their hair isn't going to do whatever the ad is showing. That's not true. The problem isn't your curl pattern, it's your curl maintenance. And I just wanted to be like, girl, yes, this is what I've been saying for years. Oh my gosh, people don't be hearing me. I say it louder for the people in the back. It has nothing to do with your curl pattern and everything to do with your curl maintenance. Your texture is not a problem. Girl, I got 4B and 4C hair, and it moves. It moves, and people don't believe me when I tell them I have 4C hair up in here. They don't believe me. Like, they want to tell me, you don't have 4C hair, you got 4A or 3C. I ain't got a lick of 3 nothing. I might have some 4A like down here somewhere, but I definitely ain't got no 3 anything. And this is all 4C, all up and through here, and the only part that's 4B is over here. My hair is definitely 4B and C. However, I am consistent with my curl maintenance. I take care of my hair. I don't play around when it comes to my hair, and I need you to be the same way. We are always, as humans, looking for a magic pill. We want to be able to open up a bottle, not have done a thing to our hair in 3-4 months, open up a bottle of anything and expect it to work. It doesn't work like that. You cannot, I always equate this to diet and exercise. You cannot go to the gym and haven't worked out and God knows when, haven't ate right and God knows when, show up to the gym and get mad because you didn't lose 20 pounds in a week. It doesn't work like that. You can't expect miracle results, instant results without any effort, with no work put in. It doesn't work that way. And when I give the example of diet and exercise, people always immediately get it. They're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Of course you can't go to the gym and lose a ton of weight in half the time or in no time. But when we talk about hair, it's like it's a forming concept, which is why I always use that analogy, because it seems to kind of marry the two things together really easily, and then they get it, right? And so it's the same thing when it comes to your hair, okay? When I first went natural, my hair didn't do this. My hair was hard as a rock. I was in the same boat as so many people. I grew up thinking that was always a product issue. I could just buy a product. And I remember back in the day, mane and tail was like the big product that all the people in the hood went and bought. And we tried it. And some people it worked, for some people it didn't. then that was it. Then it was like people were buying S curls, and then for some people that worked, for some people it didn't. Then the next thing was, you know, who knows what. You know, it was always on to the next. And over time, when you got all these products built up in your hair, you end up with what we call invisible buildup. It's like buildup on your hair that you can't see, you can't even really feel it, but it's on your hair and it's weighing your hair down. So the more and more and more you're piling stuff onto your hair, the less good results you're going to get, right? It's like doing a clarifying treatment, which is what I suggest to do if you've been using product after product and nothing is working for you. Doing a clarifying treatment with an apple cider vinegar rinse is like doing a detox for your body, right? It's literally like cleansing out like all of the bad stuff so you can start from a clean, smooth start, right? So, game plan. If you are someone who has been struggling with your hair for a long time, and I know so many of you are, especially if you're a newbie, a lot of people come into the nation. By the time they get to the nation, they done tried everything. They done tried every product in the book, every product on the shelf, every product at Target, Sally, Walmart, wherever, and they're frustrated and annoyed, and they're like, I need some help. Somebody help me. And that's why I love so much about the nation, because we've been doing this for a couple years now, and so many people who are in the nation who are now kind of like helping everyone else, like Renee and Erica and LaDawn and Tabrina and Tamara and like so many other, Adina, so many other names that I'm not even thinking of right now. Terry, so many of these people are coming into the nation, and they were in the same boat at one point, and they figured out what to do for their hair and how to make it better, how to make it right. And so now they're able to teach others, which is why I do this, because I want everybody to know it's not about the product all the time. And I say this as a brand owner, like I could sit here and lie to you and be like, yes, if you buy my product, you're going to have amazing hair tomorrow. That's not the case. It's not the case. I want to manage your expectations, and every brand should be managing their customers' expectations. You cannot, hear me loud and clear, you cannot do nothing to your hair. There's people who haven't washed their hair in a month, and they're like, oh, I washed my hair with this and it wasn't moisturized. Ma'am, you haven't washed your hair in 30 whole days, and you think that you're going to use some cream one day and it's just going to be moisturized to the gods? No, it doesn't work that way. You have to be realistic, dog. So again, when I say you might be the problem, you might really be the problem. If we were talking about dating and relationships for a second, right? And you knew someone who had been through relationship after relationship after relationship. They can't keep a partner. Everybody leave them. Don't nothing work out for them. You would be like, you know what? The common denominator here is you, right? Like, you can't keep a man. You can't keep a woman. Everybody keep leaving you. You're the common denominator, so you might be the problem. It's kind of the same thing. Okay, if you keep using all these different products over and over and over and over, and nothing is working at all, the only thing that's the common denominator in this whole scenario is you, babe. So if it's not working, if nothing is working, I gotta tell you, it's probably you. And with that, what you need to do, first of all, is you need to do a clarifying treatment. By the way, I see a lot of you guys saying this is good stuff. This is amazing. Thank you for this. Do me a favor. If you haven't shared this live, make sure you are sharing it, because this is like the base of where we all have to start when it comes to our hair. Like, somebody needs to be in your face, and somebody needs to tell you that it ain't always the problem, that the products are, right? They have all the, and to your credit, it's probably your fault, or might be your fault, but it may not be your fault that you think that it's not your fault. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because the problem that I have with the beauty industry is that, specifically hair and natural hair when it comes to women of color, is that they all will sell you these hopes and dreams and not keep it real with you. Because people want to sell products. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to sell products. That's how you stay in business. You can't stay in business if you don't sell products. So this is a no-brainer. So of course they want to sell you products. But to me, the expectations have not been managed, because people are assuming that they can go to a store, get this one thing, and it's supposed to work miracles. There was this product, I cannot remember the brand name right now, but this was like maybe 3 years ago. And it promised to straighten your hair, with amino acids. Y'all probably remember it. I can't remember who it was, but it was like one of those big, like, well-known, like, what we call legacy brands, like, you know, that have been around since we were like kids, right? It promises to straighten your hair temporarily with amino acids for 6 weeks at a time with no chemicals. So me being me and knowing, you know, how marketing works and also knowing how hair works, I'm like, there's no way there's a product that's going to straighten your hair for 6 whole weeks at a time. You don't have to reapply it. You don't have to use any heat. You just put it in your hair. It straightens your hair for 6 weeks, and it's supposed to revert it back after 6 weeks. So people were so excited. They were up in arms like, oh my goodness, finally what I've been dreaming of. I can go and I can straighten my hair for 6 weeks, and it's all good, and it's going to revert back to natural. So this brand, they sent it out to all these influencers, and everybody was raving about how great their hair felt, how great it looked straight, and all that stuff. And I was thinking, like, this ain't going to work. These people's hair is not about to revert back to curly. Nobody believed me. I was a hater, according to what, you know, people would say, oh, you're a hater. You're just hating, da, 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 da. 6 weeks passed and people's curls did not revert back to curly because there's no, this is pure science, okay? You cannot have, amino acids don't straighten the hair permanently / temporarily for 6 weeks at a time without there being some sort of chemical involved, right? Not some sort of chemical. Like, there's some sort of chemical involved. Let me go put some amino acids on my hair, just plain old amino acids, and it's going to straighten my hair for 6 weeks. No, it doesn't do that. That's not how science works. But again, this is what the marketing was for this brand, and they were sending it out, and all these people were so excited about it. And the influencers, again, were posting about how great it was. I went to the Natural Hair Show in Atlanta. They were giving it out for free, right? They just wanted people to try this stuff, giving it out for free. And people were using it, and those people's hair was not reverting back in 6 weeks. It was still straight. 8 weeks passed, 10 weeks passed, 2 months passed. 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, still straight, right? And then it got to a point where their ends were breaking off. And now it's like, oh my goodness, now this thing has messed up my hair. And I'm like, there is no magic pill. There's no magic anything. You can't have straight hair for 6 weeks without a chemical. In what world does that happen, right? I mean, the only thing that I know that happens with is with an actual relaxer, but that's a chemical as well. So, you know, it was just like these they sell these hopes and dreams to people, and that's just one example. There's other natural hair brands that you know, purport themselves to be like, you know, oh, this is like everything you've been wanting in a bottle, in a jar, and people run out and they get it, and because they want that instant gratification. But I'm sorry to say, it doesn't work like that with hair. You have to put in the effort. Anybody that you see that has amazing hair has put in the time, especially if they have type 4, especially if they have type 4C, okay? Now let's talk about the 4C people. So when you have 4C hair, you do have to do some additional work, but it's not you have to put in a lot of additional work. You just have to be more consistent than maybe someone who has like a type 3 hair, right? Our hair, I think it's important to know why your hair is dry and why you have the texture you have in the first place, okay? So we all secrete something called sebum. Sebum is the natural oil that our skin secretes. So if you know someone who has oily skin and you see little beads of oil in the summertime when it's hot, that's called sebum. Our scalp secretes the exact same thing that our skin on our faces do, right? Excuse me. People who have naturally straight hair, so let's say the type who are like 1A, like super bone straight, not a curl, not a kink in sight, right? Their hair tends to be oily because the sebum that is naturally secreted from our scalp has the opportunity to travel all the way down their hair shaft, all the way to the end before it dries up. So their hair tends to be oily. So they're actually trying to get rid of some of that oil because it's actually weighing their hair down. So they want to get rid of some of the oil, which is why dry shampoos and things like that work really well, tend to work really well for people who have straighter hair, right? Because that's usually like a powder or some sort of substance like that. Conversely, those of us who have type 4 hair, specifically those who have type 4C, our hair is naturally tightly coiled. So the same sebum is secreted by our scalps, but because we have so many curls and kinks and coils and and hoops and hurdles for the oil to get through, it actually tends to dry before it reaches the end. So by the time it gets to like the 1/3 of your hair, or maybe the half of 50% of your hair strand, it has dried up, which is why your ends are always so dry, why you have to add moisture to it. Okay, this is important to understand. This is why I do wear hair revelations, so you can understand the science behind these things, because nobody's teaching you these, right? It's just like, you need to buy this product and your life is going to change. No. If you know why your hair is dry in the first place, then you can take measures and precautions to understand what you need to do in order to fix the issue, right? Okay, so your hair is dry because the natural oil that our skin secretes is not able to reach the end of your hair shaft. So what that means for you is that you have to actually add moisture to your hair. The tighter your curl pattern, the less likely the oil has gotten to the ends, which is why people with like type 3 hair, for those of you who might have type 3, your hair may not be as dry as frequently as someone who has type 4, right? That's just because your hair, your curl pattern isn't as tight. You don't have as many hoops and hurdles and kinks and coils for the sebum to try to travel through. Those of us who have, am I making sense? You guys let me know if you're following me here. Those of us who have type 4 and those of us who have type 4C, we have tighter curls. So really the number and the letter combination of this hair typing system, which I actually don't always subscribe to, but I know that a lot of people do, so I speak to it a lot. It just really indicates the tightness of the curl and the coil. Okay, so type 4A hair has more texture, more kink to it than type 3. However, it's much less kinky than a type 4C, right? So the curl is just tighter. So instead of the curl being more like a spiral, it's more like a Z for people who have type 4C versus type 4A, okay? So all it is, again, is a measurement of the circumference, basically, of your curl, okay? So again, the tighter the curl, the smaller the circumference, the more kinks, coils, hoops, and hurdles your your sebum has to get through. So you have to do your part. This is where you come in, ma'am. This is where you come in, where you're not doing your part, which is why this is your fault, and I need you to own this, okay? We're going to be honest with ourselves. And again, you may not have known this, so I'm giving you a pass. You may not have known this because nobody is teaching you this, especially if you're a newbie to the nation. Now, if you've been in the nation for a while, you should already know this. But if you are a newbie, I'm going to give you a pass. And I'm teaching you this so that you can make these good decisions and stop wasting your money at the store buying products that are never going to work for you, okay? All right, so you have to add moisture to your hair. And the more tightly coiled your hair is, the more frequently you need to add moisture. Notice I did not say the more moisture you need at a given time. I said the more frequently you need to moisturize. There's a difference, right? Let's go back to diet and exercise as the analogy. Let's say you have two options. You can go to the gym. My OGs know this analogy. You can go to the gym let's say you got 5 hours in a week, right? You can either go to the gym for 5 hours on one day. So you go Monday, you go for 5 hours and that's it for the week. Or you can go every day of the week for 1 hour. So again, the comparison, you can either go on Monday for 5 hours and be done, or you can go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for 1 hour at a time. You have those two options, right? Which one is going to give you better results? We all know that going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for 1 hour each is going to give you better results, despite the fact that that's the exact same amount of time. They're both 5 hours, but the option of you going for 5 days for 1 hour is going to give you way better results. Why? Because you are being more consistent with it. You're not trying to pile it all on at once. This is the same thing when it comes to your hair, all right? If you I see people, they're slathering all this moisturizer on, all this leave-in conditioner. They use half the bottle in one sitting. And they're like, 2 days later, my hair is still dry. That's because your hair was already dry, and whatever you put on there, your hair has sucked it up because it hasn't gotten moisture in so long that it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited I finally got some moisture. I'm going to hold this in. I'm going to suck it up, and I'm not going to let her take it away from me. So I'm going to suck it up and keep it with me, right? And you haven't added any more moisture to it in all these days, 2, 3, 4 days, and now your hair is dry. Well, that's because you haven't added any more to it. So again, it's not about how much you add at one time. So stop buying these products and using them all up and then wasting your money, because then you're going back and buying more too soon. No, spread it out over the course of, 5 days, 10 days, however long it should last, and be consistent with it every single day. If you have type 4C hair, baby, you might have to moisturize your hair every day, and that's okay. It's totally okay. Moisturizing doesn't have to take a long time. I moisturize my hair, especially in the winter. And actually, back that up. I moisturize my hair in the winter every single day. And then when the seasons change, no matter whether it's changing from summer to fall, or fall to winter, or winter to spring, or spring to summer, during that time, I know my hair really, really well. And my hair does something real funky every change of the season. I can almost like time it. Like I know exactly when the seasons are about to change, because my hair, it just gets massively dry and it just requires more moisture. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with my hair or something wrong with me. It just means, hey, I've got to moisturize it more often. And in fact, when the seasons change, I sometimes even moisturize my hair twice a day. There's nothing wrong with doing this. You can moisturize your hair once a day, twice a day, every other day, whatever your hair requires. But if you want your hair to maintain moisture levels over time, you've got to start out moisturizing it probably at least twice a day, especially if you've got really, really dry, coarse hair. That's just how it is. When I first went natural, y'all, my hair ain't do this. Like I said, my hair was hard as a brick, and I had to moisturize my hair every day, twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. And moisturizing my hair takes all of 2 minutes. It's not a long process. So I think when people, they're like, oh my gosh, it takes so long to moisturize. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but it doesn't take long. And I don't have like really short hair or anything. I mean, when my hair is straightened, it comes in the back, it comes like almost around to my bra strap. So it's not like I have like a small amount of hair, and I can do all of my hair in 2 minutes, maybe 3.5 if I am like kind of taking my time and watching TV while I'm doing it or something. But I literally just put the product in the palm of my hand and I just go like this. And I call this my open palm method. And it's really about your ends, because a lot of times people, I think that they're trying to moisturize all of their hair, which is definitely important. You should moisturize all of your hair. But your ends are the most important, because your ends is where breakage occurs. I feel like I should write a book. I should really write a book about all of this and like put it on the site so y'all can get it, because I feel like people need a reference guide about these sorts of things, right? What do y'all think about that? Let me know if that would be helpful for you. But nevertheless, your ends is where the breakage and the brittleness and the split ends occur. So you have to make sure your ends are moisturized, which is why I focus heavily on my ends when I'm re-moisturizing. Now on day one, when I moisturize my hair, when I wash my hair, I'm moisturizing my entire head of hair. So I wash my hair with step one. This is step one. Excuse me. Hey, pause. Hey, Mike. Yes. Can you bring me the jar of step 2 in the bathroom? Yes. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna show. I see some of you asking what I use to moisturize my hair, so I'll show you. So I wash my hair with step 1. This is step 1. This is the Moisture Infusion Styling Cream.
This is step 2, which is the Moisture Infusion Styling Cream.
Thank you. I meant to say this is the Moroccan Rasoul 5-in-1 Clay Treatment. I'm so sorry. This is step 1. So I wash my hair with this. I get, it takes me 10 minutes at most to wash my hair with that. By the time I'm done with that, I have washed, conditioned, deep conditioned, detangled, and I've used it as a leave-in conditioner. I don't actually leave it in, but it does the work of a leave-in, which means I don't need an additional leave-in after that, okay? So I wash my hair with that. Then I move on to step 2, which is the Moisture Infusion Styling Cream. I literally take the product and I put it in my hands just like this, and I rub it like this, and I just go like this with it. And I do this at night usually. I just rub it in my hand, or rub it in my hair. And I do it, I repeat it until all of my hair is moisturized. I separate my hair at the top because that's where it's mostly dry. And I actually slather it right here in the middle of my hair because I know that's the part that's mostly dry. And so I just continue to do that all over my head. I do it. Hey! Hey, you guys! Can you keep it down for me? Thanks. All right. So, anyway, that's what I do with my hair. That's what I suggest that you do with your hair, or however you choose to moisturize it. That's my method. I know a lot of playmates like that method as well because it takes them like almost no time. But here's the thing. That, for those of you who are like, how can I get day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5 hair? That's actually how I get it. You get your hair to last days and days and days if you moisturize it. It ain't gonna last. I can go, this is day 4 for me for this, this twist out, I think, day 4, maybe day 5. And it's still looking, it's still looking really good. And the way that I get my twist outs, my wash and goes and all that to last days upon days upon days is because I moisturize it almost every night. Now I will say I didn't moisturize it last night because I knew I wanted to do something with it today. But every other night I have moisturized it. I am now at the point, I went from moisturizing my hair twice a day, every day for like 6 months to a year, to now, especially in the summertime, I can usually get away with moisturizing my hair every other day. Because my hair is not sucking up and holding on to the moisture. It knows it's going to get moisture. It's not afraid that I'm going to take it away from it. So it actually will retain the moisture levels in my hair. But trust me, it didn't start out that way. Again, it's like diet and exercise. Usually in the beginning, you have to work out or eat right. Like, you got to be on it. You can't be having cheat days and you only been working out for like 3 days. You can't do that. You have to actually stay consistent. Do what you're supposed to do for a minute, for a good amount of time, until your body knows that your metabolism is going to get revved up every day because you're going to be working out. You're not going to be putting junk into your body, and so it doesn't have to worry about trying to break those things down, right? So after about a couple weeks or so, it realizes that you're going to do what you're supposed to do, so it doesn't have to hold on to the fat. It can start to release it. You can start to see the weight start to come off, all that sort of stuff. It's kind of similar with the same thing with hair. Like, once you start to be consistent with it over a period of time, your hair isn't going to be holding on to that moisture anymore. It's going to actually release a bit of it, and it'll be retained in your hair so that you have the movement that you want consistently. But this is not going to happen with you waking up, going to the store, buying a product, and then expecting miracle results. It doesn't happen like that. Same thing with hair growth. They got all these pills that they sell you, all these hopes and dreams, and y'all go on, you buy it, and you're disappointed because they didn't work. You get headaches because half the products got synthetic vitamin A and all these synthetic crazy chemicals that they make in the lab. None of it's natural, and then people are upset because it didn't work and they don't feel good. Because again, nothing worth having is going to be super easy. Now, it doesn't have to be super hard either. The biggest thing is just being consistent. And so if you're not consistent, you can't be mad when you don't get the results that you want. The next thing I want to tell you is that if you've tried a product, it doesn't matter what brand it is, and you haven't been doing what you're supposed to do, don't assume that you're going to get bomb results on the first try. You might not. You very well may end up needing to give that a full month. And I encourage you to give, no matter what brand it is. It could be a complete competitor of mine. It doesn't matter what brand it is. I need you to give it at least 2 weeks, but preferably a whole month before you decide that it's not working. Because again, a lot of times is you have a lot of buildup from trying product A to product B to product C to product D, and they're all buildup on your hair over time, and now you're just piling up more and more buildup, and your hair is never able to take any of it because it's not able to accept any of it because you're just basically piling on more buildup, okay? So do yourself a favor. Do a clarifying treatment. Apple cider vinegar is what I suggest. You can buy a clarifying treatment, but it's never going to be as good as a pure old everyday apple cider vinegar rinse. I suggest diluting it significantly. Part apple cider vinegar to 6 parts of water. You want to dilute this significantly, okay? Pour it on your head. Get all that stuff off. You do it, I'm going to tell you, your curl's going to pop that day. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that my hair could do this, right? But if you want to retain that, you've got to do your part. So your part is going to be moisturizing your hair with an amazing moisturizer every day. We do have the Step 2 Moisture Infusion Styling Cream. This is the Naturalicious Moisture Infusion Styling Cream. It is wonderful. It's a moisturizer, it's a heat protectant, and it's a styling cream. So I did my twist out with it. Okay, and this is day 4 that I'm on my twist out. Okay, I did my twist out with it. It's also my moisturizer, so I don't need to do, I don't need an additional moisturizing product or additional styling product. It's all in one, okay? I see some people asking about hard water. Honestly, I have hard water in my house. I don't have a problem with my hair. You can get a water softener for sure, and that might help, but it's not going to help as much as you doing your part, right? So if you can soften your water and do your part, then you're winning. But if you don't change your habits and you only go and soften your water, then you're not going, it's not going to make a difference, right? It's kind of like, A good example of that, again, with diet and exercise is, you know, if you take a diet pill, but you still eat crappy, right? Like, just because you take the diet pill doesn't mean you don't have to stop eating BS, basically. Like, you still have to eat right and do the diet pill in order for it to do anything for you. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with the hard water. Like, if you have hard water, like, oh, back up. Back to diet and exercise. So you can have the diet pill, and let's say it's a safe one, right? I don't know which one is safe, but let's say it is. Okay? If you have the diet pill and you eat right, you will probably get great results. However, if you take the diet pill by itself and don't eat right, you're not going to see any results. But on the other hand, if you eat right and don't take the diet pill, you will probably still see great results, right? So the bigger issue is that you're not eating right in this case, right? So eating right is going to have the biggest benefit, it's going to pose the biggest benefit to you, right? When we go back to hair, you can have a water softener. If you have hard water, you can have a water softener, and you can moisturize your hair daily, which is going to give you great results. If you soften your hair and don't moisturize your hair daily, you're not going to see any difference. If you moisturize your hair daily and still have hard water, you will probably still see amazing results. You know what I mean? So it's like the biggest issue is keeping your hair moisturized and doing what you're supposed to do for your hair. Softening it is just kind of like going to like boost. It's like a little boost, but it's not going to be like everything for you. You know what I'm saying? So by all means, if you want to get a water softener, go for it. But it's not necessarily going to be the huge change that you need if you're not doing the other part. Okay. Somebody asked if I'm rolling my hair every night. No, ma'am, not at all. No, not at all. I'm like the laziest natural you ever will know. I am usually a wash and go girl. I decided to do a twist out this time just because I was like, oh, I feel like being adventurous. But I'm usually a wash and go girl. So I moisturize my hair with the open palm method, like I mentioned, just like this. I put it up in a ponytail. Now, when I do a twist out, I put it up in a small bun. I wrap my scarf around it, and I go to bed. And I take it out in the morning, I shake it, and I let it fall where it wants to, and then I'm done. I do not retwist. I have not retwisted this in 4 days. However, when I do a wash and go, I do the same process, except I don't do the bun. I just leave it loose like a puff. I put the scarf on, I go to bed. And so, again, I'm like a super lazy natural. I do not retwist. If I've gotten to the point with my hair where it's not like holding the style anymore, then it's basically time for me to rewash. I'm not about to be rolling and retwisting and all that mess all night. I don't have time for that. So my biggest thing is to teach you guys how to have this amazing hair that you want and you dream of, but without like the chore, without like the struggle. Like the struggle, I always see these posts about hair, it's like the struggle is real. No, it's not. It ain't real for me. It doesn't have to be real for you. It's not real for a lot of the claymates because they've been consistent in caring for their hair and caring and doing the work. The other thing I want you to remember, if your hair is not cooperating, is that our hair does not have the ability to repair itself. So when you see all these ads talking about hair repair and, if you got split ends, put this on your hair and your hair is going to repair itself. That's a lie. That's a flat out, bold-faced lie. And I get so angry when I see those ads because it's like, these people formulating these products, they know you can't repair your hair. If your hair is damaged, it's damaged. That's it. You got to cut it off and start over. That's the way it goes. And so, again, people are sold all these hopes and dreams. That's why we have so many people who are jaded when it comes to hair care, especially women of color. They see a ad for a brand who might be actually well-meaning and really want to help them have this great hair, but they've been so jaded by these like people selling them snake oil for so long that they're like gun shy to try something else. And that's why it just makes me so mad, because a lot of the frustration that you have is because they sell you all these hopes and dreams and you don't know necessarily any better, and you go and you try it and it doesn't work. So when it comes to hair repair is not possible. Okay? Hair repair is not possible. Teresa, it ain't got to be real, babe. It doesn't have to be real. I am here to eliminate the struggle, to try to help you eliminate the struggle. I just need y'all to follow my tactics, follow my principles, be consistent is the biggest thing. And I'm telling you, you will find over time, the struggle might be real for like a minute, like, a few months, but over time, if you're consistent and you do what I'm telling you to do, it won't be real. It will eventually not be real. Trust me on this, okay? When it comes to hair repair products, let me get back on track. When it comes to hair repair products, unlike our skin, our hair does not have the ability to repair itself. By the way, if you have yet to share this live, do me a favor, make sure that you share it. Make sure that you tag your friends in this video. All right, our hair does not have the ability to repair itself. So if you cut your hand, it's going to bleed, it's going to form a scab, eventually it'll heal itself over time, right? You might have a scar, but it'll be fine. Your hand's not gonna, you don't have to cut your hand off in order for your skin to repair itself. Conversely, with your hair, if I flat iron my hair and it doesn't curl up anymore, and this part of my hair is damaged, this part is not growing back from here. I've got to start from here and grow it out. That's because our skin has no blood, it has no vessels, it has no veins, it has no nerve endings in order to be able to do that, right? There's nothing in our hair. Technically, when your hair grows out of your head, it is dead, technically, like scientifically speaking. There's nothing in it. There's no blood, no vessels, no veins, nothing to make it repair itself like your hand or your skin can repair itself, right? So that's why proper hair care is so greatly important, so vital, because once your hair is damaged, you have to cut it off at that part. Now, you may be able to transition, you may want to do a big chop, whatever you want to do, but once it's damaged, once that end is split, it ain't repairing itself. What happens, these products that they temporarily bind your hair together, temporarily. Once you wash your hair, it's back to square one. You find that your hair is split again, that your ends are raggedy or whatever. All it's doing is temporarily binding it. It's literally putting a Band-Aid on your hair. That's literally all it's doing. And as soon as you wash your hair, it all rinses out and you're starting back from square one and your ends are still split. So why I care so much, why I'm here teaching you guys this all the time, because I don't want you to have to constantly do these big chops if you don't want to. If you want to do a big chop, great. I know people have done big chops several times, but a lot of people are doing big chops because they're finding that this hair repair stuff is not working. They're doing things or using products with ingredients that are damaging, and it's causing their hair to be lackluster, to be dull, to be dry, to be split at the ends, to have a lot of shedding and unnecessarily, and all these other things that they're doing, and they're having major issues. All right, stop with the hair repair. Make sure you are caring for your hair consistently. Let's recap here. If you are starting out, I need you to do an apple cider vinegar rinse. I explain how to do that. 1 part apple cider vinegar to 6 parts of water. All right. After that, I want you to moisturize your hair. You don't want to use a moisturizer that has mineral oil in it. Mineral oil is not a real oil. Mineral oil it's not an oil in the sense of what you think of like avocado oil or argan oil or extra virgin olive oil or anything like that that's beneficial to you. Mineral oil is literally it's a byproduct of the distillation of gasoline from crude oil, and what's left over in the middle is mineral oil. So not only is it like a toxin and is it nasty and gross, but it actually is a moisture blocker, right? So when you put a product on your hair that has mineral oil in it, nothing can get to your hair until you wash that out with a sulfate-based shampoo. Sulfates are super drying to your hair. They tend to strip your hair of all this natural oil. So not only when you use a product with mineral oil, not only are you using a product on your hair that is blocking any sort of moisture from getting to it, but you have to use which is going to dry your hair out, but you also have to use an additional drying product in order to remove the mineral oil from your hair. So if you've been washing your hair and you've been getting a whole lot of suds, because we've been sold this dream that suds mean cleanly, mean that something's clean, which is again a marketing lie. It's completely not true. Then you're going to find that your hair's probably really, really dry, which means you have to moisturize it even more consistently. So I need you to make sure that you find yourself a moisturizer that does not have mineral oil in it. Another name for mineral oil is paraffinium liquidum. Paraffinium liquidum. This is the same thing as mineral oil. But of course, most of you aren't cosmetic chemists. Most of you don't own beauty brands. So you will how would you know that paraffinium liquidum is the same thing as mineral oil? So that's how these brands be sneaky, because they putting in names that you have no idea what it is, right? So you put that on your hair. Stay away from those because it will not truly moisturize your hair. You want to find a product that has truly moisturizing properties in it. Okay, I have done several RHRs on moisturizers. If you missed any of them, make sure you go to our YouTube channel. You can find them all there, where I go really in depth on what a good moisturizer is, what to look for, what to stay away from, so you can stop wasting your money. All right, once you find yourself a great moisturizer, and I'm going to suggest the Moisture Infusion Styling Cream by Naturalicious, but again, you can buy whichever one that you choose, but most of the Claymates are using this. I suggest that you use it as well. I love it. It's great. It's like everything. Once you find yourself a great moisturizer, then at that point is where the work comes in. Everything else from this point on, once you find what you need, this is on you. This is back to it being your responsibility. You have to be consistent. And when I say consistent, I mean every day. If your hair is dry and it's not retaining moisture, you've got to do this every day. Every day. Every day. I just heard this quote by Gandhi, and I hope I get it right. I feel like I'm not going to. But he said, prosperity goes to where your purpose lies, or something like that. I'll figure it out. But it was something like that. And basically he was saying that whatever you are purposeful about will become abundant, or it will become prosperous, or it will grow, or it will be what you want it to be, basically, right? And so if you are not intentional, essentially what that means, if you are not intentional about this, it's not going to work. You have to find the time in your schedule. We all find time for things that we want to find time for. So don't tell me you don't have the time. If you want to find the time for it, you will find the time. And again, this is me being a little bit in your face to let you know that you do have the time. It takes me 2 minutes to moisturize my hair. If you've got shorter hair, it probably take you less time. If you have longer hair, it may take you a little bit more. But whatever you want to find time for, trust me, you will find the time. If it's important to you. If it's not important to you, you won't find the time. This is how it goes, okay? It will take you literally no time to moisturize your hair. I'm not talking about washing it. I'm not talking about all that right now. I'm just talking about moisturizing. It will not take you a long time, okay? I do my open palm method, okay? I do that. I put my hair up in a ponytail and I go to bed. It takes me longer to brush my teeth and wash my face and take a shower than it does for me to moisturize my hair, right? But I'm sure as heck going to take a shower, brush my teeth, and wash my face. So if I can spend the time to do that, because that's important to me, it should be just as important for me to make sure that my hair is moisturized and good to go for the next day, okay? Same thing for you. If you want to make this thing work, if you want to stop being frustrated with your hair, if you want to stop spending a lot of money and being frustrated because nothing is working for you, again, part of it might be that you're not being consistent enough. And so if you want to make it work, you're going to have to do the work. Okay? This is how it goes. All right. After that, there's just other things that you can do to kind of help yourself along the way. So you can do hot oil treatments, which I highly suggest that you do every time you wash your hair. Again, if you're starting out, you may be like, oh, this is a lot of work. Skip the hot oil treatments if you need to. I definitely suggest it. The biggest thing that's going to make the biggest change for you, though, is the consistency with your moisturizing, right? Yes, Lee said, remember, each person's journey is different because we are all different. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, to my point, when you see these people and you see, so-and-so's hair, and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I had her hair. I wish my hair would do that. And a lot of times I see people with type 4 hair saying this about people who have like type 3 hair. Like, oh, I wish I had her hair. You can wish all day. You're not going to have her hair. You're just not. Like, I'm not going to have her hair either. What you can do is make sure that your hair is incredible. What's so funny, though, to me is that a lot of people I know with type 3 hair, they actually want the type 4 hair. And the people who have the type 4 hair want the type 3 hair. We always want what we don't have, right? But like one of my employees at the office, she has type 3. She's biracial. She has type 3. And she's always like, man, I wish my hair was more textured. I wish I had type 4 hair, because then my hair would hold a curl better. It would stay, I could actually like get more volume with my hair if I had type 4 hair, and it's so funny, like she wants type 4 and so many people want her hair. It would, again, we always want what we can't have, but it's no point in envying somebody else's hair texture who you will never have. What you should do is focus that energy on making sure that your hair is amazing, and it can be. Like, I know so many of you know Natural 85, right, on YouTube. Like her hair, she has type 4 hair. She has type 4C hair. And her hair is beautiful. It's so long. It's so thick. And if you follow her from when she started, her hair didn't start out like that. Her hair was really, really short. She did a big chop. It was real short. It was real dry. And she figured out how to keep her hair moisturized and all these different things. So also, a lot of times you guys are looking at these people on YouTube and you're like, oh, I wish I had her hair. Well, you have to remember, a lot of people who are on YouTube are getting paid to basically do their hair, right? They're getting products into them regularly. They're getting, some brands are actually paying them in order to make videos, which means that their hair has to be on point. They have to continuously take care of their hair. What I'm saying, I'm not shading the fact that they're getting paid. What I'm saying is that they're consistent with their curl maintenance. They're constantly doing their hair. They're constantly moisturizing it and keeping it soft and hydrated. And they're doing the moisturizing every day. And they're doing the hot oil treatments. And they're doing the deep conditionings. And if you aren't doing that, you can't compare yourself to someone. You can't compare yourself to someone who has been doing a whole lot of work for a long time, right? Like, that's looking at somebody's highlight reel and then wishing that you had that, but you haven't done the same thing or haven't had the opportunity to do the same thing. Right? So instead of feeling bad about yourself because your hair isn't like that, just do what they're doing, right? Spend more time making sure that you are focusing your efforts and being purposeful and intentional about your curl maintenance. Because remember, it's not your curl pattern. Your curl pattern has nothing to do with almost anything. It does have to do with the fact that, like, how much you need to moisturize and what types of, if you have low porosity or high porosity and all those sorts of things. But your curl pattern isn't the problem. The problem is your curl maintenance, right? Exactly, Renee. You see their glory, but you don't know their story. You don't know how long they were struggling with their hair. They could have been in the exact same place as you until they finally figured it out. But again, most of these people who are on YouTube that are like the famous YouTubers who are doing hair, they're consistently taking care of their hair every day. They're doing the hot oil treatments, the deep conditions, the moisturizing, who knows what. They're getting products sent to them, all that kind of stuff. And they're also getting paid for it, but a lot of times, but they're basically doing the work, okay? If you are doing the work, you'll find that you have similar results, but you have to do the work. Again, also, don't expect this is the biggest thing I need you to remember. Don't expect this to be a 3-week thing or a 1 month thing. Sometimes you have to be doing this for a while. I always tell you, this is so important to know. I always tell people that the way that your hair is looking and performing today is a direct result of how well or not so well you've been caring for it in the past 3 to 6 months. Okay? 3 to 6 months. So those people that you're looking at online, just if you were to rewind their life 3 to 6 months prior, you would see that they've been caring for their hair consistently. So when you watch that video today, that's 3 to 6 months worth of work that they've already put in. Okay? You need to be consistent with your hair for 3 to 6 months before you can even start to say that your hair is just, hopeless. And I guarantee you, if you are consistent, and be really honest with yourself, if you are truly consistent, are you doing this every single day? Think about it like diet and exercise. If you've been on a diet and you haven't lost any weight, and I'm so guilty of this. If you've been on a diet, you haven't lost any weight, haven't gotten fit, have you really been eating the way you're supposed to? You might have been working out, but have you really been eating right? If you're honest with yourself. Have you really? Probably not, right? Because if you were, and I'm talking about myself here, if you were, you would have seen some kind of result, right? This is just how it is. This is how it goes. Like, it's calories in, calories out. If you're putting way more calories in than you expounding, then, you're not going to see the results, right? So same thing with your hair. Give yourself the 3 to 6 months. Like, be honest with yourself. If you have to make like a hair diary or hair journal, write that stuff down and say, okay, yes, I moisturize my hair. Put a reminder in your phone to remind yourself to moisturize your hair before you go to bed. Be consistent for 3 to 6 months, because that's how you know what your hair looks like today. Again, is the result of what you've been doing in the most recent past. What also is important to know is that 50% of what your hair looks like has to do with how well or not so well you've been caring for it. But another 25% has to do with the products that you're using. And another 25% has to do with your technique that you're using to style it. Some people are really, really great at braiding. I could be amazing at washing. I could be amazing at taking care of my hair in the most recent past. I could be really great at using the right products. But if you ask me to do a braid out on my hair, it's gonna come out looking so raggedy because I can braid, but I cannot do a braid out. I just cannot. It never works out for me. That's why I don't fool with them, because I know my limits. Okay, I know that I'm not good at braid out, so I stick with my twist outs. I stick with my wash and goes. I can do a flat twist. You know, I'll do those sorts of things, but you won't see me do a braid out because I can't do them very well. So if, you know, again, if my hair has been taken care of and I'm using the right products and I do a braid out, it's gonna look raggedy, you know, because that last 25% of how my hair looks is going to be the technique, right? And my technique when it comes to braid outs is trash. I just know that about myself. So that's kind of like the breakdown. Okay, so all these things are things that go into having healthy hair, having the hair that you want, and not being frustrated and spending a lot of money unnecessarily on your hair. Okay, I hope this has been helpful for you guys. And I like to be honest. I like to be real. I like to be, you know, kind of like a little bit, you know, I feel like I'm a lot of your guys' curl coaches. You know, I feel like I'm a curl coach for a lot of you. And somebody, you know, just like any coach, the coach will tell you when you're doing right, coach gonna tell you when you're doing wrong. And I'm here to let you know when you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. I'm also here to kind of guide you on your path so that you can have the best hair that you've ever had. And so many people in the nation have gotten the best hair that they've ever had since they've been in the nation. So I'm so excited about that. But if you aren't getting those results, please be consistent. I saw Teresa say the struggle is real for her. Teresa, be honest with yourself. Are you really being consistent? Are you really moisturizing your hair every day? I don't know if you are. Are you really moisturizing your hair every day? Are you really trimming your ends? Have you trimmed your ends? A lot of times we have dry hair and it's a result of us having really split ends that eventually travel up the hair shaft, right? Are you really being honest with yourself? Okay? Like, you don't have to tell me, but the truth always prevails in some sort of way. So if you aren't consistent, it's going to show. Okay? So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Drop your comments in below if you have any questions, and I will do my best to find them. Make sure that you are in the Naturalicious Nation. If you are not already, you can just search for Naturalicious Nation and you can apply to be let into the group. We actually might be at 10,000 members tonight. I gotta check and see. But I know we were really, really close to 10,000. So that's super exciting that so many people are getting this good information. So happy about that. And yeah, so I'm just thrilled to be like the leader of this pack. Like, y'all are so great. So, all right. Thank you guys. Have a blessed night. Do I have any announcements for you before I go? We will be announcing the Ultimate Claymate Contest winners probably tomorrow or the next day. Super excited about that. So hard to have chosen just 3. We were actually we need to choose 7 people. We had finally narrowed it down. It took us an extra 4 days just to figure out who we were going to select. And it was the hardest thing ever. And I was like, I don't want to even make this decision. And luckily it wasn't just me. It was everybody in the office. Everybody had to weigh in and kind of unanimously choose. But I'm telling you guys, it was really hard. And those who did not actually win, you guys are still going to get something, because you guys, every single video was so good. That's why it was so hard. It took us almost a whole extra week just to pick somebody. Alicia, we had 60 entries, so it took us a while to go through all the videos. It was about 60 or so entries, and we had to narrow it down to 3. So you can imagine how hard it was. But we did narrow it down to 3 finally, and we'll make that announcement probably again tomorrow or the next day. Either way, check your email tonight or tomorrow morning. If you entered, you will be getting an email. Okay? Yeah, either tonight or tomorrow morning, you will get an email. Either way, if you did enter. Okay? So, thank you guys for asking about my mom. She's doing okay. She had her surgery. She was in a lot of pain right after the surgery. She actually ended up going back to the hospital the next day or 2 days later because she had some like drainage in her eye. She had eye surgery, so she had some drainage in her eye, and it was like feeling awkward for her. So we took her back to the hospital. They released her the same day for that, but she was on Percocet, and so she was kind of like out of it and like just like, you know, Percocet kind of just takes you out, you know. So she was like asleep a lot for a couple of days. Now she's back to her normal self, although her eye is kind of like stitched shut right now, and she has to go back for another surgery to complete everything. So that's going to be in a few weeks. But the initial surgery went well. She's back home. She's back watching TV, talking to me every day, and that sort of thing. So thank you for the well wishes and the thoughts and the asking about my mom. I really appreciate that. If you haven't joined the Fit Squad, make sure that you do. The Naturalicious Fit Squad. Danita has the link here. And if you haven't gotten a Naturalicious Glam Tee, make sure that you do. We have a really cute video that we're going to send out on Friday with our operations lead showing you guys 5 ways to style the glam tees. Actually, that's on our Instagram page right now, but we'll also send it out through email on Friday. All right. You guys have a great evening. I love you all. Hope this has been helpful. Just let me know if you have questions, and I'll see you in the nation. Bye, everybody.